The American String Celebration is a movement almost. It's the idea that the disparate worlds of the violin can be taught in one space by some of the most wonderful teachers of the styles is the whole idea behind this. And the American String Celebration is basically a night at Fiddle Camp. I started the camps about 15 years ago, and it was on the heels of my Heroes album. It was an album that saw me do duets with my violin heroes, the people that I listened to growing up. How I designed the camp in the beginning is how we still run it today. First come, first serve. Who's ever interested should show up. We'll take anybody. We'll take young, old, professional, amateur, beginners, and we'll find a place for you at this camp. And we still do that to this day. And it's an amazing gathering of people. I think it's one of the most rewarding things I do all year in my music. We have a great lineup in the American String Celebration tour group. Sara Caswell, who's taught for us for at least 10 years, she started teaching for this camp when she was still a teenager. One of the most extraordinary jazz violinists you'll ever hear. I would put her right at the top of the field, even though she's only in her mid-20s. She has a classical music background as well, and that informs perhaps some of her technique. But she is a thorough jazz interpreter. A great improviser, and I think someone that's going to put a new face on jazz violin, and somebody that we can look towards to bringing jazz violin playing into the new era. Tashina Clarridge is one of our current instructors who started to come to the camp as a very young student. I was probably around 10, 11 years old, and she has turned into an incredible fiddler, and in fact is the national fiddling champion of all ages. It's the very contest that I won when I was her age. There's the tradition of fiddling, which has origins in the eastern part of the United States, like Appalachia. And then there's this sort of upgrade of, if you will, with a new modern influence of jazz music, variations on a theme, and some improvisation and reinterpretation of the old traditional fiddle melodies. And it's the style that I grew up playing as well. And so I definitely wanted to feature this in the American String Celebration. And Tashina is like, it would be hard to imagine hearing it more deftly played than Tashina. Jeremy Kittle is an incredible talent. He's one of the real, I think, young masters to come out of the scene in the last few years. he, like others in the celebration group, started coming as a student and now teaches for me. He is a unique musical artist. He's combining jazz music, he's combining his traditional Scottish fiddle music that he grew up playing in very, very masterful ways. And I look towards Jeremy to be really a leader in this great movement of string playing, this kind of new emphasis on, hey, it's a brave new world, I'm an artist and you can do this, you can do that, and it's not been done before. With the violin being around for 400 or 500 years, you would think that you start running out of ideas. Well, Jeremy Kittle has not. He's going to take it to the next step. One of the things that I wanted to make sure of in the American String Celebration is that we featured great classical violin playing. We have not ignored the classical Western tradition of learning and literature. And Janet Sung is one of the great prodigies that have come out of the classical tradition in recent years. She's very young, but she's already teaching at Juilliard School. She is so well loved by the fiddlers in the group and by fiddle audiences. People get it. When she gets up and plays Vivaldi Four Seasons or Zugunarweisen by Sarasate, it absolutely resonates. It resonates in a different way, a unique way. She can play some of the same material for a largely classical audience, and they might think it's normal or perhaps not as exciting, but we provide a real forum for it in a very unique way, and I think it's working. And with Janet's inclusion, I think that it makes our ensemble and our effort more complete. I couldn't imagine it without that aspect, and in fact without Janet. Nat Smith is our youngster in the group. I wanted to make sure that we actually had a bona fide student as a part of this group. He's a 13-year-old cellist, young prodigy who plays the cello unbelievably. And Nat is musically mature, beyond his years, and he's a lot of fun to be with. He's a kid off the stage for sure. He's like, pestering everybody, and some of our guitarists and our bassists, are constantly, wrestling with him and things like that. But it's fun. It gives us a real chance to give our audiences what it's really like at the camp and the music benefits. Discipline, the desire, the practice, and the dreams. the young people lead the way, and the older people, the older professionals get it. I think that's really fantastic.